Today, I'm going to talk about a reality that some men might not want to hear. Nowadays, men with average financial conditions basically have no chance of marrying a beautiful woman. Even if they were willing to take over the package, they might not even get the opportunity. That's because it's now very easy for beautiful women to monetize their looks. Have you noticed that in many places, like restaurants and hotels, service industry workers are getting older? Even in 5-star hotels, the attractiveness of staff has visibly declined compared to the past. If a beautiful woman wants to make a lot of money, earning between $30,000 and $50,000 a month might not be easy. But making between $6,000 and $20,000 a month? That's not difficult. And when a beautiful woman can earn $6,000 to $20,000 on her own, her standards for men become much higher. The average income of ordinary men is also between $6,000 and $20,000, right? If even average women aren't interested in men who make the same amount as them, then don't even think about beautiful women.
Feminism has finally won in China. I hope all women are satisfied because now all the men have disappeared from the market, and the ones left are weak feminist men who don't even seem like men. I would rather have my child grow up in a single-parent household than in one dominated by this extreme feminism. That was the harshest thing I ever said during an argument. But honestly, looking at the situation today, I don't see where I was wrong. Ladies, like and save this, because we need to face the reality we created. Feminism was supposed to mean equality between men and women. But in the end, what we got was a bunch of weak, insecure, and passive men. Now, we have to compete not only in the job market but also in relationships because men have simply given up. This movement claimed to have 4 main pillars. Increasing women's participation in the workforce. Ensuring equal pay for equal work. Expanding women's access to higher education. Socially recognizing the value of domestic work. The first 3 points? The country made progress. But the 4th? What happened? Men didn't take on more responsibilities, they just ran away from them. Now, many women are doing everything alone, career, household, children, while men shrink away and avoid any commitment. If the house is for 2, why don't men take on their share? If the food is for 2, why has cooking become only a woman's job? If the child was created by 2, why have so many men disappeared from the responsibility of raising them? If both can earn money, why are we the ones overburdened while they become more passive? Is this what we wanted? Because if it is, congratulations. Feminism has won.
I went to a blind date event, and honestly, I left there with the feeling that, due to the high demands of women, they've pushed all the quality men out of the dating market. And the ones that are left, well, they're terrible. They don't even seem like real men. There are 2 types of men left in this blind date market. The first type is the ones who accept everything, whatever you ask for, but you don't feel any trust in them. You look at these men and you don't see a father or a family man. There's no stability, no character that you expect in someone who could build a life by your side. The second type is the men who are extremely picky. They want women under 25, virgins, and who ask for nothing beyond that. They're bizarre. They've completely erased the role of women, as if a woman is just an object or something to be idealized in a shallow way. There's no space for a mature woman who has experiences and something to offer. I just say one thing. If you don't have a house, don't look for anyone, and no one criticizes me for that. But if I say that a woman over 35 will have more difficulty finding someone, a bunch of people starts insulting me. I'm not saying you're hard to find someone, you can still find love, but not for a blind date because age is something you can't hide. I just want to help you, but I can't do anything. Can I change your ID number? Can I remove the wrinkles from your face? I can't. Now, imagine a 35-year-old woman and a 25-year-old woman. If they both stand together, who do you think the man will look at first? Let's be honest, if it's the same man, but he has 10 houses, cars, and a good financial situation, and the other one has no house, which one would you choose? Would you choose the man without a house? And if it's a 1.80M guy and a 1.60M guy, who would you choose? You wouldn't choose the 1.60M guy, right? Don't be so contradictory. In the end, what happens is that with so many unrealistic demands and standards being imposed, it's getting harder to find someone genuine who wants to build something real. The market is saturated with extremes, and it's hard even to imagine what it would be like to have a healthy relationship with someone who, in the end, doesn't really know what they want. And in the end, we all lose out, as we're all searching for something real and of quality.
今天呢，我要想说说有多少女
Wow, I need to talk about how many women are not acting rationally. And I also want to tell some women. Do you know how hard it is to enter marriage? Recently, I saw the news that the marriage meeting point in Chengdu is already full, and they are no longer accepting new women for the meetings. There are very few men, and the ratio of men to women in these meetings is astonishing, around 1 man for every 50 women. This is strange, because many women say, now we are independent, we have many choices, we can choose not to marry. So why are there more women wanting to get married than men? Currently, in China, the number of single women eligible for marriage is about 110 million. Let's assume that most women don't want to marry, so there are still around 50 million left, right? And these 50 million women have demands. They want a house, a car, savings, a monthly salary above 10,000, and a minimum height of 1.7 meters. This is the minimum standard. If you're shorter than 1.7 meters, you're considered third class in women's eyes. Well, the men who meet these conditions in China are less than 1 million. I can say this with certainty, because I am a wedding master of ceremonies, and I understand the conditions of men very well. I know exactly the types of men who are in a position to get married. In other words, from 130 million eligible men, less than 1 million truly meet these conditions. For women, the number of men they consider suitable for marriage is less than 1 million. That means the ratio is astonishing, around 50 women competing for 1 qualified man. Do you understand? So many women find it strange, between 18 and 23 years old. Oh, I just want a tall and handsome man, I don't need material things. Then, between 23 and 28 years old, oh, the man has to be at least presentable, not too ugly. And then with a bit of wealth, having money is the key. And after 28, oh, it doesn't matter if he's handsome, as long as he has money it's fine. Many women have a strange mentality, as if they think that just because they are women, many rich men will line up to choose them, and they still have the option to choose a handsome man among the rich. This is a huge information gap between men and women. This is very scary. So, you'll notice that in big cities, it's mostly women who go to marriage meetings. And there are very few men at these meetings, because they know that no matter what, they will be rejected. On the other hand, in rural areas, men pay to buy wives, with a dowry of 30 to 50,000, and they don't need to buy a house, just a wife to carry on the family. This is why dowries are higher in rural areas than in cities. In cities, buying a house and a car is the biggest expense, but in the countryside, 30 to 50,000 is enough to buy a wife and carry on the family. Many men in rural areas line up for these marriage meetings, it's that simple. This shows the difference in details. I really want to tell these women that the number of men who can meet all these conditions is very small. The new marriage law is already telling you this. A simple couple, living an honest life, building a family together, this is more important than anything else. Don't aim too high. Character is the most important thing. If you're still hoping for a man who has money, who is handsome, who has ideal height, who is good to you, who treats you like a princess, and takes care of you in every way. These men, if you add them up, don't even reach 100,000 in the country. Can you understand? So, what can you do? Lower your material demands and look for a man with good character, and your chance of finding something closer to reality will increase. Some women can be extreme and think, then why should I get married? You can choose not to marry, sure. But the reality is that many men are single, knowing that you won't be interested in them. And still, around 40 to 50 million women want to get married but can't find someone suitable. So, if you're one of these 40 to 50 million women, open your eyes. I have data that shows that the men who are willing to enter this marriage process usually have some flaws. They're stingy, have emotional issues, or simply aren't ready to settle down. Believe me, most of them have some problem. And I want to tell these women, good men don't enter the market. At this moment, what you need to look for is a responsible man who is caring, loves and takes care of his partner, has responsibility, and no bad habits. These men are already the top, they are the best you can find. I'm not joking, a normal man today is considered the highest. Whenever a woman talks about a normal man, she doesn't allow him to be available on the marriage market. Women aren't stupid. If she has a good man, why would she let him go? Why would she break up with him to end up marrying a bad man? So, any man who enters the marriage market, or even goes to a marriage meeting, is probably not up to expectations.
为什么现在的男生呢？
Why do men nowadays not want to marry women who own a house? In theory, if a woman can afford to buy a house, it means she has a good income and comes from a good family background. So why, then, do many men look down on this? This topic has sparked a lot of debate online. After reading through the comments, I realized that, in the minds of many men, if a woman has bought a house, it probably means she has spent all her savings on it, and now has to pay a mortgage of thousands, or even tens of thousands of yuan every month. This means all her income goes into paying off the mortgage. How will she support the family's expenses after that? Moreover, if she gets pregnant and has children, she will have almost no income. And who will help pay the mortgage? In general, men are unlikely to help women pay off their mortgages, as it's considered her premarital property, and they feel it's not their responsibility. They also don't want to live in the woman's house, and this house may become her escape in case of disagreements with the man. If they fight one day, she may just leave and hide in her own house. For many men, if they already have a car and a house, there's no need for their partner to own a house as well. So, even though the woman has a house for many men, it doesn't hold much appeal. What do you think about this curious perspective?
Maybe only in China can we see such a peculiar phenomenon. In other countries, it is women who demand gender equality, seeking to protect women's rights. But in the current environment, we see Chinese men demanding gender equality, which is both amusing and realistic at the same time. Let's take a look at the official definition. What is gender equality? Gender equality means that, regardless of sex, men and women should have the same rights and opportunities in social, political, economic, cultural, and other spheres. They should receive the same respect and treatment. Specifically, it includes, but is not limited to, the following aspects according to the official report regarding social position. There should be no discrimination or prejudice based on sex in both men. And women should have the same opportunity to participate in social affairs and public decision-making. In education, men and women have equal rights to access education and resources, enabling them to pursue their studies and development. In the field of employment, there should be equality of professional opportunities, salaries, and chances of promotion, with no unfair restrictions based on sex. In the family, both should share responsibilities and duties. Mark this, sharing responsibilities and duties with equal decision-making rights over family matters. In political participation, both should have electoral rights and the right to be elected, as well as other political rights. Gender equality emphasizes the elimination of stereotypes and gender inequality. These institutional concepts promote gender harmony and joint development, seeking to achieve true social justice and equality. But what we see is another reality, a multitude of fairies and goddesses, along with many masters and godmothers, teaching women to use their bodies, emotional value, reproductive capacity, and primal instincts to extract value from men. What these women want is not the value of family, nor emotional value, nor a husband. They want men to work for money and success, only to enjoy everything those men have achieved without any effort on their part. They act as parasites, using men as stepping stones for their own benefit. The modern Chinese man only wants to marry a normal woman, but it's becoming increasingly difficult. What is a normal woman? This is a controversial topic, and I often receive messages from fairies attacking me. In my opinion, a person who understands they must fulfill their obligations while enjoying their rights, and who knows how to respect others, is a normal, educated, and conscious person. There are no other demands, even if there are. They are few and insignificant. To demand, as people say, is absurd. If we're talking about consciousness, we should act with it. But the times of sincerity are gone. The days of heart for heart no longer exist. If a woman is able to create value through her work and intelligence, achieving self-realization, her life is certainly worthy of respect and admiration. For a man, he may not like it. He may not think that this woman is worthy of him. But there are women who, even if they don't like or respect the man, still manipulate him, trying to take advantage of his goodwill. They take everything the man does while mocking him. Why are Chinese men now asking for gender equality? Isn't it a reaction to the excessive tolerance and favoritism from society and legislation? There are men who let themselves be corrupted by a distorted feminist ideology and end up demoralized. What is the main point? The main point is excessive protection. If we are really talking about gender equality, shouldn't we treat both men and women fairly and impartially in the face of right and wrong? Women are great, mothers are great, we can't deny that. But what is the condition? They are great because they contributed to society and the family, achieved their self-realization, fulfilled their obligations, and even made sacrifices. Only these people are truly great. Sacrifices should not be demanded without meaning. But when enjoying rights, shouldn't we also fulfill obligations? The house is yours, the children are yours, a good wife and mother, a homemaker who maintains the home with effort and wisdom. Aren't these contributions to the family? Making the family prosper and creating a happy and healthy home is the contribution of everyone. If someone is truly in a home where it is not worth investing, they can choose to leave. But what are we seeing now? Men being tied up, with their hands and feet bound. Taking away the masculinity and dignity of men to achieve this gender equality isn't a ridiculous situation? At the end of this video, I want to emphasize, both men and women have good and bad people. Choosing the wrong person and letting morality, principles, and values deteriorate are completely different issues. Write your viewpoint on this dilemma in the comments so we can start a healthy discussion on this topic. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next video.